Good afternoon, world. Some of you may already know we are planning to build a house here in the Philippines. Sustainable, prefabricated, and we've chosen to go with the Cubo Modular Company, who are a startup company that make affordable Filipino homes here in the Philippines. So we are at the first draft stage moment. So I sent a sketch over to the company and they have got their architects and designers to come up with an actual plan for how the place is going to turn out to scale.
Yes, we had our first call with the company, the design team this morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Is it just you, sir, or are we waiting for Matt?
My wife is coming as well. She's just walking the dog.
No problem, sir.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, no problem with audio, sir.
All right.
Together with me is Architect Miguel and Architect Pat, and they will explain the technical designs. It turned out way better than we expected, so look forward to the explanation that Architect Miguel will be able to give regarding your design. This is almost the entire framework of the exhibit, sir.
Hi.
Hi, Matt. Hi.
For just over an hour, we were discussing what they had come up with, and they showed in quite a lot of detail everything. And then we could obviously have the opportunity to make any changes at this stage. It was very interesting to see what they came up with. It was very, very much like Jay's original drawing that he sent over with our ideas, but there were some changes that we made initially.
If you saw the video we made before where we showed you our sketches, a few people commented saying, I can't believe there's no insulation, I can't believe there's no cavities in the wall and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But the truth is, it was a draft sketch, and when we saw what we saw today, we can clearly see, and we knew this already, but there are big cavities in the walls, and what happens with that is that everything gets a little bit smaller on the inside. So some of my ideas didn't translate well into the actual scale drawing. So it's looking like, as an initial thing, we are going to have to downsize the sizes of our bathrooms and get rid of our bathtub idea.
Yeah, that was probably the main thing that we changed. But when I saw it, like actually put together with a bath kind of in it at one end, it did seem too big, you know, like a bathroom, unless you have like a fabulous luxury bathroom, you don't really spend much time in a bathroom anyway. And with the ideas that we're going for to downsize, to be smaller, to have the bathtub in there, and it took away space from our living area
And bedroom.
and the bedroom, yes, to accommodate a bathtub idea, it didn't make sense. And then when we saw and we measured out with the tape measure in our own living room here, the size of what the living area would be to have this size bathroom, we were like, it's far too small. It would feel like sitting in a corridor, and the architect said the same thing. So we're just going with their standard sized bathroom, which has a shower cubicle at one end. We are having two sinks put in, a kind of his and hers sink, and the toilet, of course. So it's going to be a long bathroom, but quite narrow, but enough to have a toilet and sink and a shower in.
For the kind of small home, compact size idea, it's absolutely perfect, and the bathtub was an easy sacrifice to make. And also it allowed us to make sure that we have two bathrooms, which I think is going to be essential.
Yes.
One for the story upstairs and one for us downstairs, with a separate door as well for when we have guests. So our mezzanine is now half the size, but by choice.
Yeah, so they had shown the drawings with the mezzanine going across the whole entire length of the one side of the house, so it goes across the kitchen and the kind of dining area, and we felt a little bit too closed in, and also far too big.
Well, when we actually found out the size of half a mezzanine, which is like almost 5 meters, it's massive. So we don't need 10 meters of mezzanine space. It's supposed to be an extra somewhere where we might put an office or the piano
will go up there,
some beanbags, a reading nook,
some stories, books can go up there, so it will be kind of a more hangout area, like with the piano, the books. Story can go up there and play, and it's also big enough, even at half size, to have a guest bed or like a roll out futon style bed up there as well, a couple of chairs, you know, it's more than big enough. So we halved it because when I think of a mezzanine area anyway, I think of a smaller, cozy space rather than like a giant wow, because it's almost otherwise another entire floor,
Yeah.
but without a wall. So
It's supposed to be an extra addition, not a room itself.
Yeah, we wanted it to be more of, go up in the mezzanine rather than being a main room.
So after the chat with the Cubo team, we really do feel now that we've come to a good idea of how it's going to be when we walk in the door. So we feel like it's going to have that open plan feel, that spacious look, so you can look up and see 2 floors worth of space all the way up to the ceiling the minute you walk in the house. But the bedrooms themselves will be a bit cozier, a little bit smaller, but very well designed in terms of storage space and smart storage.
Yeah.
Wardrobe space and nooks and hooks. I love hooks. I love like hanging things up, and I think it would be a great way for us to balance the stuff that we have in our life and make it look impressive for its size.
So Jay wants lots of nooks and hooks.
Nooks and hooks, yeah.
And I want it to feel open and bright, so an extra window can be added in the dining area. And the thing I'm most excited about is on our bedroom we're going to have a balcony, so there's going to be a door which opens up and then there's a balcony area.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've missed. It's something that I think will be a really nice addition, to be able to open the doors and have a balcony area. You can just step out, you're still in your house, that whole kind of inside outside living.
The next time we talk to the Cubo team, we will probably be in Manila, because we need to like finalize the final design, which will then start being built.
Yes,
so,
and they want to see us in person to like actually, this is it, this is our design,
Make sure we know what we're signing off on,
exactly.
A lot of my stuff that I drew didn't get lost in the process, but there were some things that I just thought were clear because of the way I'd sketched them that weren't. Like Sacha specifically wanted to have a barn door for the bedroom so that we could make space for other stuff. I don't think they saw that on the drawing, so they removed some of the ideas I put in because they probably thought there's no way into the room. So there were things that needed to be kind of clarified, which we will do on the final design, probably in Manila.
And we had thought about pocket doors, where the doors go inside the wall, so you don't lose any floor space. But then the problem with that is the walls have to be bigger to obviously fit a door in, so then you lose floor space in that way. So it made the bedroom smaller to have that idea. So we're just going with a sliding barn door.
I think the barn door is better anyway because it's easier to maintain.
Yeah.
If something goes wrong with the barn door, it's outside. It's going to be a railing. It's not going to be inside a pocket, inside a wall that a specialist
I really
needs to
like
fix.
them as well. I've always wanted to have barn doors.
I think the barn door is going to make the bedroom feel a lot bigger as well. Another question that has been thrown at us a lot since we said we were going with a engineered bamboo modular home is that it's going to get blown away in a storm. So I wanted to quickly explain something here. First of all, the land that we have bought is protected from wind in more ways than we've ever had before. The land itself is a geographical protection from the majority of the wind. The next thing was, I asked the Cubo team about their other projects and they said they've gone through storms already. These buildings are proper buildings. It's not like a little shed that we're gonna fling together. These are proper homes that have been engineered to function as real houses.
Weather, specifically in the Philippines.
They're designed for the Philippines, So it's not just the strapping system in the roof, it's the way they've done the walls, it's the way it's going to be attached to the foundation. It's a proper house. It's not just like a kind of temporary home that we're living in.
And I get everybody's worries because it's one of our worries as well. If we were to be in a super typhoon again, like what happened with Typhoon Odette, no one is safe. It doesn't really matter what building you are in, because we have friends who had a solid concrete build,
Goliath property,
and it got washed away. The concrete got washed away, and the rebar, everything was everywhere. So we thought they were going to be safe. We thought they had a fortress, and it was horribly damaged. So it's not just, you need to build concrete because then you'll be safer. It's not that clear cut. It's obviously the strength of a storm you can't control.
The one thing we did want to control was the location of the house, so it's geographically protected, and then just chat with them about if the properties they've currently built have had any storm testing. They have. Roof insulation was another thing, and insulation in general was questioned about. So we are going to have a cavity walls and a cavity ceiling, which will have a rock wall insulation on the inside, and then they'll have a stone rubber coating, like a rubber stone coating paint over the top, and then we're going to have our solar panels on top of that. So it's not going to sound like being in a tin shed.
Yeah, because that was one of our thoughts as well in something like this, and we have stayed in an Airbnb before where it's a similar kind of building, and it did sound very noisy when it rained. We did ask Cubo about the insulation, and they said you don't actually need any extra insulation because it has an air pocket,
which provides a whole 10 degrees of temperature regulation just naturally, just by having the bamboo, the cavity and another bamboo. 10 degrees, so even if it's 35 degrees outside, it's 25 in here.
But then you can also have the option to add extra insulation in, which we will probably do, just to be absolutely sure that it's going to be nice and quiet and we're not going to be kept awake or feel like we're living in a caravan when it's rainy or windy.
So there's still quite a lot we need to figure out. We're going to get a new draft sent through, which we'll show you when we get it, a 3D model which we'll show you when it's finished. The next big exciting house update will probably be when we actually go to the Cubo factory, and we'll vlog that as well. We will show how it goes.
Yes, we really want to go. We really want to go back to Manila. We have to book flights and have someone to look after Poppy. And
we've only just acquired the land, and it's like, we needed to get our head around that first. That is where we're at with the Cubo modular house build at the moment. Really cool company. They're very, very open to any suggestions, and they're super professional at the moment, so what we've discovered. So I'm happy with the service so far. It's been about 3 weeks since we started the process until now, so that's the little bit of a timeline for you, but all is going well. So I hope you enjoyed this little house update, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.